What is up, guys? It is MackdaddyX, and I wanted to talk to you guys really quick about cheese. You know, blatant cheese and moves, and especially in these fighting games that are considered cheesy, that are considered cheap, or I don't know, unfair. I wanted to talk to you about all this stuff, especially since I play King, and he has so many moves that people think are cheesy online. And I wanted to address that term cheesy, what it means, and it means so many different things at different levels of gameplay. So most of the people online, you know, at an intermediate level of play, they don't know how to address or how to handle moves that King has, like the stagger kicks, for example. That's a staple one. You know, the stagger kicks are a low hit, and if you get hit by 3 of them, and it's a counter hit, or if you get hit by 5 of them, the last hit in the string stuns them. Okay, and it allows you to follow it up. It's not a guarantee. You can still block the next strike, but you can mix it up. You can, if they get stunned, you can throw out a grab. You can throw out a juggle. You know, you can mix it up so it keeps your opponent guessing. And you know, a lot of intermediate players don't know how to handle this online, which is exactly why I use it. You know, as far as the moves that are considered cheesy, I get a lot of I do get a lot of compliments on my game, but I probably get triple the amount of hate mail just on you use stagger kicks too much, or you use multi-throws and grabs too much, or you use you know, this or that too much, or why did you kill me with the sledgehammer? You know what I'm saying? I get lots of hate mail, but the quick answer to that is because I can. You see what I'm saying? Because I can. It always, for me, it always depends on who my opponent is. You know, if I feel that a move will be effective against my opponent and what they're doing, you know, what their play style is, I will use that move to break through their defense. And so, you know, to talk about each of these moves, you know, what the stagger kicks really are is, and the reason that they're so hated, because I guess intermediate players don't know how to block low, or actually don't know how to defend or counter these kicks. The thing about them is this: the stagger kicks, they can be, if you block them, if you block 2 of the hits, you can jump over the 3rd hit. Okay? You can jump over the 3rd hit, and a lot of intermediate players don't know that, but the pros do. Okay, so it's not necessarily the term cheesy is only being used at an intermediate level, and that's because intermediate players get hit by it. The pros will never get hit by it consistently. They might, maybe once in a blue moon, they'll get caught by it, but the cheese of the stagger kicks is only in the level of skill of defending it. You see what I'm saying? Or countering it. And so since you can jump or hop over the first 2 kicks, that's actually a huge secret, you know. King players do not want you to know that. You can hop over them, and that can lead to huge juggles, you know, and the pros know that. See, so at a professional level, using moves like the stagger kicks is too big of a risk. You see what I'm saying? Once you get into going low on stagger kicks, most pros know how to jump over it, use their hop move to juggle them, and they can do big damage. We're talking 90 to 100 damage off of a low hit, depending on the character. And so it depends on your skill level. If you're going up against a King player like myself, or some of the others that are really good with King but use moves that are cheesy that the professionals don't use, and you're wondering, you know, I'm watching the Korean videos, why isn't that they're not using these cheesy moves? That's because they're playing at a higher level than even I do, a higher level than most of the online players do, and throwing out cheesy moves is too big of a risk for them, you know. Sometimes, very rarely have I ever seen one of the pros that's a King player, you know, like Triple H or Dr. King, the best from Korea. I almost never see them throw out a stagger kick, and I almost never see them do multi-throws. You know, that's literally how rare it is to actually see them do it, because their opponents know how to defend against them every time. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why the level of play, the level of skill level that you are at, that totally matters when it comes to calling a move cheesy or not. You know, at an intermediate level, you know, if you're anywhere close to noobish, or you don't know King, you've never used King, never picked him, never practiced with him, yeah, the move could be considered cheesy because you have no defense against it, and you're getting hit by it every time, and you're losing to it. You see, it doesn't matter what level of play I am, I will choose to do the moves that I think will work, and that's always a decision that I made. I make that decision real time. I make it on the fly, you know what I mean? If I think that it'll lead to big damage and you're not going to defend against it, I don't care who you are. You could be a pro, you could be the best player in the world. If at that moment, I'm thinking that's the best thing that I should do right now, just do it. That, stuff like that goes past my mind, in milliseconds. I'm not even really thinking when I throw them out. And so if you're getting hit by cheesy moves, there's a good chance that means that you need to increase your level of skill, go to practice mode, and learn how to defend against the moves you're getting cheesed by, especially in the case of multi-throws. And this is the one that I really want to talk about. I'm not getting as much hate mail now that my videos are on YouTube and people are starting to acknowledge how much skill it takes to play King. But early on, I used to get so much hate mail, just you grab too much, grab. It was because they didn't know how to defend against multi-throws at all. Most people don't, actually. And it's surprising to me because the same way that you defend against multi-throws, it's the exact same way to defend against every throw in the game. And so that's another secret I wanted to talk and tell you guys all about, is how to break throws. All throws. Every throw in the game can be broken 4 different ways, okay? You can break it 4 different ways, and that's it. It's only 4 different ways for any throw in the game. It's one of four ways. Any throw in the game can either be broken by mashing left punch, mashing right punch, mashing both punches at the same time, or mashing both kicks at the same time. That applies for every single throw, including the many chains of multi-throws that King has. You just have to learn which chains are broken by what, and you have to learn which moves have different options for the break. Because some moves, even though the move looks exactly the same, the animation looks exactly the same, it's broken by either left punch or right punch, depending on what the King player decides to do. And it looks like the exact same move. It's the exact same animation, but the King player can throw it out, and it's broken by something different. So if you get caught in something that you're normally breaking out of with, like, say, left punch, and all of a sudden you can't break out of it, there's a good chance the King player is actually a good King player, and he knows how to use the right punch version. So you need to switch to using right punch to break it, and if you don't, you're going to take huge damage. That's how it works. And most people who are calling King's multi-throws cheesy don't know this. They don't know how to mix up their break game for defense, just like they mix up their high, mid, and low levels for offense. And so it confuses them, and they just think it's a cheap move that can't be broken, and, they give up. You often hear of people, when they get into a multi-throw, as soon as you grab them, they don't even push anything on the controller anymore. They just watch the pretty colors on the screen as King is doing, 120 to 140 damage. That just means they don't know how to play it. So you have to increase your own level of skill in order to convince the King player to stop using these moves, or else that he's going to take big damage. It has to be convincing. There are certain players out there that are online that are pro enough that, I might not throw any stagger kicks out to, or I might not throw any multi-throws out to. I'll just strike with them the whole match, because they are that good. It's too big of a risk to, play around with these guys. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. So as far as cheese is concerned, especially in the fighting games and especially in Tekken, don't look at it so much as cheese being something that players are just using to get a win. You have to look at cheese as being something that's defective in your own skill level. If you're getting cheesed, or you're thinking something is cheesy, it means that you couldn't defend it. You couldn't defend against it, and you need to look at, maybe I need to do something different, and that is the truth every time. It means, if there's a move that you hate, that you don't like, for example, to me, one of the cheesiest things that a Lars player has is his juggle, his move that pops you up, where he does this little flippy kick, and it leads to big damage every time because it's so easy to do. I actually learned how to do this juggle. All you do is you pop them up with this flippy kick, and you hold low punch when they land, so that when you catch them, you just keep pushing both punches, and he will do a huge string of damage. You see, that is one of the cheesiest moves to me. It's so cheesy because it's a very It's not a very high risk move, especially at an intermediate. At an intermediate level, it's almost no risk. You know, people will either get caught by it, or if they block it, they don't follow it up. Now, at a high level, you know, we're talking specialists like myself, veterans and pros. Yeah, it is a big risk because I know how to follow it up. But it's a cheesy move, you know, and large players abuse it, especially online, man. Americans online abuse this type of move. And you know, but I don't send anyone hate mail or call them cheesy. Even if I was to get hit by the move, though, you know, I just block it, and follow it up with a high damage string. And you know, everybody online I've gone up against lately who's a large player, they don't use that move on me no more. You know what I'm saying? You know, not unless they have a death wish. You know, and this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You're not going to see me whining and complaining and getting frustrated and crying about moves, because I understand skill levels and I understand how to increase my own against these characters. If I do get beat down, which does happen, you know, often enough, trust me, then I will go to practice mode. You know, I'll pick the character that I just got stomped with and figure out what on earth just happened. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just a part of improving your game. And so that's pretty much it, you know. Stop complaining, stop getting emotional because you're getting abused by these moves, and start learning more. You know, if you guys have any questions, you know, from me about, you know, what explain how this stuff works, explain how this move works. You know, I am a mechanic enough, I know most of it. You know, just send me an email, send me in-game mail, whatever. You know, I'll address your questions, and I will talk to you guys.